also celebrate our military. This one's for you. And you tonight is the 35th Combat Artillery Brigade out of Sedalia, Missouri. Friends and family are here. Almost 500 of them are in attendance. And of course, in the Middle East, Joel Goldberg is there with a collection of Royals Hall of Famers, and we'll be checking in with them all night long. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Udler. I'm Ryan Lefevre, and the logo on September the 11th, the first games that we played, you were with the Angels, I was broadcasting for the Royals. The logo said, "We will never forget," and here we are 17 years later, and we will never forget.
No, and you know, the emotions are still there, especially the great pregame ceremonies the Royals put on here today. You know, congratulations to the Royals and also to Fox Sports Kansas City for honoring this great day here.
Yeah. We're going to have family members who have loved ones serving in the Middle East. They'll be joining us here in the booth. Erica as well will be visiting with them during the game. And Joel, Mike Sweeney, George Brett Saberhagen, Reggie Sanders, they're overseas right now. And Fox Sports Kansas City has done a wonderful job every year. Number one, just linking up with them by way of satellite, and this year in connection with the Royals, actually sending people over there to watch tonight's game.
Yeah, and you know what, you mentioned them, not just people, Hall of Famers, George Brett, you know, Saberhagen, Reggie Sanders, Sweeney, and of course our colleague Joel Goldberg, who does a fantastic job with the questions. And it's going to be an interesting night, but we're happy that all of these folks and their family members are going to be able to participate and really to bring some joy for a short amount of time over the grand game of baseball.
All right, so that's what's going on here, and let's go across the globe to the USO Camp Buring in the Middle East. Hello, Joel. Good morning, Joel.
Yeah, good morning indeed, Ryan. It is a little bit after 3 in the morning, and what I can tell you is this. First of all of those Royals players you mentioned, will visit with them throughout the game. I have never seen this group, and they've accomplished everything from George Brett to Reggie Sanders, Mike Sweeney, you know, all of these guys, Brett Saberhagen, they are moved. It's been emotional, as emotional for the troops as it is for us. And this room at 3 in the morning is absolutely packed. It's hot outside. Actually, it's cooled off to being in the 90s. It's packed in here. We can't wait to visit with you throughout the game. Guys, back to you in Kansas City.
Oh, that's great, Joel. We look forward to that, and we look forward to a good game. If it's anything like last night's game, they're going to be happy tonight at Camp Buring. We'll talk about the walk-off when we come back.
C25 Bob Morrell, Command Chief Warrant Officer, 35th Cab.
Command Sergeant Major Javier Acosta, Command Sergeant Major, 35th Cab.
On behalf of the entire 35th Cab Command team, we want to thank the Kansas City Royals and the entire community for your support to our deployed soldiers. And
Go Royals!
Tonight, American military personnel serving overseas are watching this game on AFN, the American Forces Network. We welcome those in countries around the world aboard naval ships at sea, and we thank you for your service. And we hope we have a game tonight that's at least close to as exciting as last night's game was. A walk-off for the Royals in a very unique way, Hud.
Oh, without a doubt. You know, you rarely see it happen this way, but it doesn't matter as long as it happens. A win is a win, but it was exciting. A sacrifice bunt situation, and he did the job. It was a good bunt, but we weren't expecting that. And good when he says, all right, take it on home, and they could go upstairs and eat dinner. So the manager, Ned Yost, said it was pretty exciting.
And the Royals always feel good about winning when Brad Keller takes them out, and he'll pitch tonight. Banking and investments tailored for the military community.
Hi, I'm Ned Yost of the Kansas City Royals, and just wanted to take this moment to say thank you to all the servicemen and women in the Middle East. Thank you for your service. It means so much to us. Every night when we stand for the national anthem, my mind is filled with you guys. So we appreciate your service. We appreciate everything that you do for us. Thank you again.
Brad Keller, Hud, he's had a great year, and he just seems to be getting better.
Last 5 starts, he is climbing the charts. That ERA in the modern game, that's outstanding. That's exactly what you want. He's learning how to pitch to contact. It impresses a lot of people. He's not trying to overthrow and strike people out. Just get out.
He'll be going up against White Sox right-hander Dylan Covey. We shall not forget September the 11th, 2001 was also a Tuesday. And the timing was perfect here at Kauffman Stadium as the B-2 from Whiteman Air Force Base flew over Kauffman Stadium. Chief Petty Officer Wilson was just finishing up the national anthem. And all around the country, specifically in New York City and the site of the World Trade Center, somber scene there at the Pentagon in Pennsylvania, and yet at the same time an opportunity for us to honor and celebrate our men and women around the world, and in particular celebrating the 35th CAB, as they call themselves, Combat Aviation Brigade out of Sedalia. Up to 500 friends and family are here at Kauffman Stadium as their loved ones are around the world, and tonight we'll be linking up with the USO Camp Buehring in the Middle East. There they are, anticipating the Royals starting lineup tonight. But first, they'll get a chance to see how the White Sox fare against right-hander Brad Keller tonight. The White Sox are a struggling team right now. They have lost 6 in a row, and their offense has had problems during the losing streak. Their offense is averaging just a little over 2 runs per game, and they were held to 3 last night with the Royals winning in the bottom of the 10th. So here's Brad Keller. There are the overall numbers against the White Sox. He is 1-1 in 6 games and 3 starts. That includes the worst start of his career. In the middle of July, he gave up 5 runs in 2 2/3 innings.
Yeah, and you know, you're looking at the strikeouts, 81 to 120 in the third. For a big guy like Keller at 6'5", 230, it's what's impressive. He throws 95 miles an hour tops. He's not a strikeout pitcher. He uses that defense. And speaking of defense, heck, Rosell Herrera's getting a start out there. He's played 70 games this year in right field with 2 different teams, Cincinnati and the Royals, and has not made an error. Valoria, young catcher, getting his 3rd big league start. He'll make a difference in tonight's game.
And Keller's first pitch is called a strike by home plate umpire Tony Randazzo. Yohan Moncada was 1 for 4 last night with a strikeout, his 195th of the year. That leads the major leagues. Fastball cuts inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. And now 3-1 on Moncada. He is a switch hitter who is much better from this side of the plate, so much so that with Moncada struggling as a right-hand batter, some talk about him being just like his boyhood idol Robinson Cano and hitting left-handed exclusively. And he's on with a game-opening walk.
And that's always a possibility, but we got to keep in mind how young these players are, and it takes some time to develop.
Tonight you can tweet a greeting to the troops at FS Kansas City or use hashtag Armed Forces Night, and we'll be showing some of those on screen throughout the night. And in the morning there, 3:18 a.m. It is 77 degrees in Kansas City. It is 88 degrees at Camp Buehring.
Their high of the temperature for their day, 118. And there's humidity there too.
Yolmer Sanchez was 1 for 4 last night, and he grounded into a double play, which has been a Brad Keller specialty this year. Time had been called right before Keller delivered the pitch.
Yep, Keller, like I said earlier, he doesn't strike out a lot of batters, and I think that's a good trait for him. That's one of many good things we've seen from this young rookie pitcher. But the fact that he rolls up ground balls, 53 1/3% ground ball rate, that's 4th highest in the majors. So he really likes to use that defense to record the outs.
Two balls and no strikes.
Typically, first innings can be an issue for a lot of pitchers. Whether you're young or old, it doesn't matter. You have to find out what pitches are working for you. So for a lot of offenses, it's an opportune time to get some scores, get some runs on the board.
Two and one. Even looking at Keller's minor league numbers, he was a contact pitcher. He's never really been a strikeout pitcher, even with his size, and he can run it up there to 96, 97. There's a ground ball to O'Hearn. He'll go down and get the lead runner. No chance to get Sanchez. So Moncada is out number 1.
Yeah, ball was topped. It wouldn't hit that hard, and Sanchez runs very well. So you're not going to get 2 there, but it's good practice. Good to see Keller getting over there to cover.
So a man on for Jose Abreu. He had 3 hits last night. They were all singles. None was hard hit. Over the outside, strike 1. So Royals pitched him well, but with some good fortune, he ended up with the 3 hits, and the Royals are able to keep him from having an impact in the game. Sanchez is a stolen base threat. He has 13 this year. And the White Sox as a team likes to run. They have 5 different players with 11 or more stolen bases. That's the most in the major leagues. Oh, 2.
Rookie catcher Maybers Valoria. He's got a very nice catch and throw game, along with his signal calling. Blocks the balls well. Just in the 2 starts we've seen of him, this is his 3rd big league start, and he looks very impressive, especially for 21 years young. And I'm sure he'll be up for any base stealer. He's got a very nice throwing arm.
Challenge him with a high fastball. 1-2. Off of his foot, foul ball. You know, right before Keller delivered that pitch, I wouldn't say he has a great move over to first base, but for a 23-year-old, and we can go on and on with all the things that he's done well in his rookie year, he has a good feel for varying his tempo and his pace. Sometimes he'll come to the plate quickly. Sometimes, as he did before that last pitch, will come set and hold.
And he's only going to get better, and that's something that usually veterans learn. That he's a quick learner. High aptitude. Nice.
That is his first strikeout, and there are 2 down.
See, he's on the side of the ball now. There's the dot. That knows it's a good one. He's on the side, but you still stay on top of the baseball in order to get it to move that, have that downward break. A beauty. That's the pitch you want to run on if you want to run. Base stealers have been successful 7 out of 11 times this year off of Keller. And that's exactly what that is. You steal off the pitcher, not the catcher.
But unfortunately, the catcher's the one that gets stuck with the statistic.
Yeah, they haven't quite figured that out yet. You know, how to make it a little more even. But typically, a base stealer, he's going to time the pitcher and get his jump off the pitcher.
Oh, and 1 on Avisail Garcia, who has been fighting a bad right leg all year. Back to the middle, and Merrifield goes to the bag, and that's the inning, and Keller gets around the leadoff walk. Seven-game homestand and 3-game series with the White Sox after winning last night 4-3. And here's the Royals lineup tonight against right-hander Dylan Covey. Rosel Herrera is in the lineup. Maybreeze Valoria is in the lineup tonight. And here's Covey, who is facing the Royals for the 4th time this year. Big numbers, 5.44 ERA. In his career against the Royals, 5.87.
Yeah, I mean, he's just trying to find command with his pitches, mainly his fastball.
Last night, Witt swung at the first pitch in the bottom of the 1st inning and homer to left center off of Lucas Giolito, and Dylan Covey gets him on a ground ball to short tonight.
Defensively in right field, Daniel Palka. He's amongst the league leaders for rookies in home runs and RBIs. He's got 3 pinch hit homers. He's having a good offensive season. Catcher Wellington Castillo, he'll be making his 7th start tonight after coming off the disabled list. He's thrown out just under 30% of the runners. He's a good catch and throw guy.
And now a strike on Mondesi. He was hitless in 4 plate appearances last night. He did reach with a walk. Oh, 0-2. Tony Randazzo, my early evaluation HUD, is a pitcher-friendly umpire.
Okay, that means
both sides.
Yep, that means that he's going to give those corners. Like it. Moves the game along quicker.
Covey just got to the bag in front of Mondesi. And you could feel the White Sox scrambling. The league now is well aware of Mondesi's speed. Anything on the ground has the potential of being an adventure.
Yeah, and almost, if you're the second baseman, you want to talk to the first baseman there and say, hey, look, anything hit over my way, you just go to the bag. It's too tough a chance to throw to the pitcher and for him to beat him. But he did there. Good execution.
That was a great shot by John outside the Royals dugout, showing how the first baseman leads the pitcher to the bag. Just kind of hangs it in the air, and the pitcher running full speed. It's his job to run to the ball and kick the bag at the same time.
That's right, John.
Anyway,
good
John,
way to be on top of it, bud.
What hat is that?
This is a hat.
Yeah, he is the Mad Hatter.
He's got some good ones.
Grounded into the White Sox dugout. 1-1 on Alex. That is the hat of the Reading Fighting Phils.
I like the shirt, man. The shirt goes with our gig tonight, man. It's beautiful. Check him out.
Fouled away by Alex. We were talking to Ned about Alex, and he had 2 hits last night. He had a double. He stole third, and then he was out trying to advance on a pitch in the dirt. And for a guy who is older, as far as baseball age goes, that's certainly doesn't reflect the way he's been running the bases lately.
No, but you know what? What that is just it's a credit to his condition, his positive contributions in that department. He's always working out. He takes great care of himself on and off the field, and that's the whole key. When you get to a certain age, in your mid-30s or a little bit under that, you're starting to slide downhill when it comes to this level of competition. But he keeps himself great, and he told me the other day he feels like he's back in 2011, 2012, how he felt where he had some of his best seasons. That's really good.
That is a called third strike. Dylan Covey gets the Royals 1-2-3. When we come back, we're going to be heading out to the Middle East and checking in with Joel. Broadcast, and we have some very special guests in the booth. we want to introduce you to Ashley Neely, whose husband Travis is over at Camp Buring, and their twin daughters. And I have Addison.
And this is Kinsley.
And how old are Addison and Kinsley?
They will be a year next week.
A year next week.
Yeah.
Oh, man, look at them. Now, Travis directs planning operations for the 35th Cab missions, and I hear your first date was a Royals game. Is that correct?
It was, but he still doesn't clarify it or define it as a date. He says anytime that he goes to a Royals game is not considered a date, so I think he still owes me that one.
Well, he's got beautiful daughters and a beautiful wife. Thanks for coming up and being with us.
Thank you for having us.
And that, by the way, that first date was in 2015, which was a good year for the Royals.
It was a good year. We were blessed to go to the World Series games and all the playoff games, and it was great.
And you were married 2 years later, was it around opening day?
It was on opening day.
On opening day, okay.
We actually had to pay the judge a little bit earlier to show up so we could make it out here. Grab some Zarda barbecue and bring some of our closest friends, and it was great.
Oh, there they are. So that was the day of the Royals home opener on April 10th, 2017 in the Olathe Courthouse. Let's check in with Joel. He's standing by with Travis.
And as you might expect, Travis he's smiling and shaking his head. There might be some disputes here, so let's cover this. Date or not a date?
Not a date. Going to Royals games is going to a Royals game, honey. You know that. You go to a baseball game, we go to baseball. It's not a date.
Now, probably because of the delays, you may not hear a response, but also being married a couple of years, you probably already know the responses. Now, you were telling me that you went on a very romantic honeymoon.
Well, yes. Hey, Joel, I think a honeymoon's going to opening day. And I think Rex would agree with me, Brian would agree with me, and everyone at home will agree. If you get married before opening day and you go to opening day, the honeymoon is obviously opening day itself.
First off, knowing Brian and HUD and spending years with them, day after day, they are going to take your wife's side over you, so you have no chance in this battle. Do you have any amends that you can make, like to take her on a real honeymoon?
Okay, so believe it or not, Ashley, I've been sitting here having discussions with Reggie Sanders and Mike Sweeney, and I was asking for advice of what to do because I've talked about our little argument of whether or not opening day was actually a honeymoon, so I got some advice. I actually have something I would like to ask you. Would you like to go on a honeymoon when I get home?
Yes.
Let's wait a second for the response on that one.
Yes.
What kind of a question was
she
that?
Said yes.
Right?
Okay, so I have found So here's the deal: is I found this lovely place to go to that's got beach, it's got ocean, the weather's beautiful, and there's all sorts of scenery and history. And so I would like to see if you'd like to go to Boston with me, say in the first week in August of next year.
It's a Fenway Park honeymoon.
Fenway Park honeymoon is what we're looking at. And oh, by the way, Mike Sweeney said that he'll meet us there if you want to, hang out with Mike Sweeney for a little while, because he's going to be there as well.
If Mike Sweeney's there, then I'll go.
See the fun we can have here.
So you're wanting to hang out with Mike Sweeney and not me in Boston? Come on, Ashley.
It sounds like a great time.
All right, listen, before we wrap it up, I know we'll have the delays, but just real quick, your perspective. We're on a little bit of delay, so all of your fellow servicemen and women are kind of watching you right now. But what has this experience meant to be here tonight?
First of all, I want to thank the Royals alumni for bringing the players here, Fox Sports Kansas City, the USO, and everyone that made this possible. Because people at home, I just want you to realize how great an experience this is. And so it's really just a nice opportunity to get a piece of home, spend time with friends, the families, everyone that's there. I want everyone at home to realize they're the real troopers. We're simply soldiers that show up and do what we're told to do. It's the families at home that are really the ones doing the big things and great things.
I think that we all know that you guys are more than that, but the message, I'm sure, as we hear the Twins in the booth, maybe they've got a future in broadcasting. But last thing, how special just to be. And the beauty of technology, you can FaceTime the family every single day. But to know that your wife and twins are up in the booth, how special is that?
Oh, it's great because believe it or not, their birthday's next week, and I've said that what better birthday gift than to have a picture with Rex Hudler up in the booth.
Oh, come
now
on.
I question your taste. All right, we're going to go back to the booth, and I'll make this. I'll make. And there you are. We're on delay, but you can look back and see them. But I'll say this, Hud. I know you'll jump on board, Ryan, too. We'll have the whole family on the pregame show to celebrate that honeymoon next year at Fenway, and Mike Sweeney and everyone. We'll roll out the red carpet. All right.
You got it. That was a nice play by Hunter Dozier for the first out. So let me get this straight. Going to a Royals game does not qualify as a first date, but going to Boston to watch the Royals qualifies as a honeymoon. That's I'm not. There are a lot of confused dating people in Kansas City right now that are working on logistics.
I know. But when you love someone so much, did you see how happy he was there that the Royals players were there and he was able to see his family up in the booth? That to me means more than anything. So if that's where he wants to go, that's where we're going to go.
You know, we had some members of the Missouri National Guard that were up here before the game tonight. We were talking about our broadcast. Dozier's going to throw out Anderson, so runners at second and third with 2 down. And my wife, Sarah, her father was a Marine. Excuse me, and they lived all over the world. And they talked a lot about the support that they had when they were on the base together. So if someone had to be deployed, families would lean on one another. But different from the National Guard, you guys are scattered all throughout Kansas City, all throughout Missouri, all throughout the country. And so this is a very unique opportunity for everyone to be able to come together.
It is, and it's awesome. I cannot thank the Kansas City Royals and Fox Sports Kansas City enough for making this possible for all our families and all the soldiers away.
Oh, good. Well, glad you're here. Let's go back to Camp Buring, and we have Joel has another special guest.
Yeah, we'll be quick. Quick, Mike.
Hey, I don't know if you knew, Ashley, but August 5th and 6th, your honeymoon in Boston, that happens to be when the Royals are playing in town. So I think your honeymoon's going to be at Fenway Park.
Yes. All right. And you're going to come, and you're coming?
I will be there 100%. I'll be there with my boys. I'll come give you a hug. Happy honeymoon.
All right, we better go back to you guys.
Well, that's a heck of a deal.
Yeah, it is. Once in a lifetime.
Now, you live in Lenexa.
I do live in Lenexa, yes.
And I see here that Travis is from Mount Vernon. How about you? Where's your hometown?
Dallas, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So he brought you to Missouri.
Yeah. Sorry, my kids are going
Addison
crazy
likes
now.
for whatever it is, kids like the windscreen. It's called a windscreen on the microphone here. So it's very popular. She's got her binky. You want your binky?
There you go, sweetheart.
I know how this works.
Yeah. I do want you guys to know that my husband is such a huge fan and he loves his bobbleheads. And so now I refuse to pay for a bobblehead, but I've been trading this whole time he's been gone to get his collection complete.
Oh, good. All right. Well, now I think he's aware of that now.
Yeah, hopefully.
2-2 on Adam Engel. And so we are not abruptly cut off at the end of the inning. We'll take this opportunity to say thank you for coming by and thank you for bringing the girls.
Thank you for having us.
Great.
Oh,
thank you.
They're
both.
beautiful.
Yeah.
All of you are. Thank you.
Thank you.
And keep up the hard work. You know, we know you guys work hard.
Yes, we do.
I know.
Addison and Kinsley, and there'll be one next week.
On Wednesday, yeah. So it'll be their first birthday.
Sweet. And when's Travis coming home? Do we know?
Hopefully sometime, maybe May next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The White Sox spoil a great scoring opportunity against Brad Keller. There they are here at Kauffman Stadium. And there's Travis in the Middle East with Joel and Mike Sweeney.
Specialist Jamerson.
And I'm Specialist Moore.
We're from the best S1 section in the state of Missouri, HHC 35th Cab. Go Royals!
Well, so far so good for the Royals, as the White Sox had 2 on and nobody out in the second inning. Brad Keller got 3 straight ground balls to Hunter Dozier. Some of the 500 friends and family of the 35th CAB, CAB, Combat Aviation Brigade. They're in section 420 and section 421. One and 2 on Hunter Dozier, and he really set the tone for Keller getting out of the second inning. He made that diving play on Wellington Castillo. And they thought about running to third and then through to first. So that was the first out. That put runners at second and third with 1 away, and Keller got 2 more ground balls to Dozier. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I thought that was a great little showcase for Dozier to show us some skills. He did. Now he had, you know, he wanted to get the out for sure, so he made a nice little running throw over the top. Good play. And then that diving play saved a run. I mean, nice going. Obviously, Dozier's getting more comfortable at third base. You know, when he first got here a few months ago, he was playing mainly first base. And now Ned's, you know, wants the trade of Moustakas. Now that's put him over there, and he's starting to show that he can play over there. Just takes time in this game. You know, instant gratification is what we all want now. Everything's instant. You know, you want something, you pick up your phone and you Google it, and you got it. And baseball's not like that. It takes time. You know, to hit the round ball with a round bat, that's not easy. These guys make it look easy, but it's not. You got 1 point. I mean, just split four ticks of a second. That's all you got. And catching that ball in defense and throwing it, you know, it's not as easy as it looks.
Remember, you can tweet your greeting to the troops at FS Kansas City, or use hashtag Armed Forces Night, and we'll be showing some of those on screen throughout tonight.
That was awesome, holding that little girl. Wow. You get that privilege at home, excuse me.
Well, I mean, and it really hits you when I ask Ashley, well, when's Travis coming home? Sometime in May. Wow. Most of the deployments we learned earlier tonight are in the neighborhood of 9 months.
And you know, we understand how hard it is. I mean, we are on the road during the summer, you know, 15 days every month, but that's nothing that compares to what these guys do, and the men and women. And so whoever's at home, they carry the workload. So we understand a little bit about that.
O'Hearn takes a 1-out walk. Special thanks to our sponsors who have been with us all season. Tonight, they have stepped aside to let us bring you, the fans, and the troops. This one's for you. Jorge Bonifacio with 1 on, 1 out. Dylan Covey is in with a strike. Out to Anderson, who gets a big hop. Good feed to second, and Moncada is over to Abreu for an inning-ending double play.
White Sox, but of course it is Armed Forces Night here at the ballpark. But tonight is our annual This One's For You telecast, and I've got a couple of family members joining me at the ballpark tonight. We have Jenna Gowan, the wife of specialist Jared Gowan, and the girlfriend of AJ Bauer, Paxton Hughes. Ladies, thank you for joining us. This is a very special night for all of us here at the ballpark, so we appreciate you taking some time to chat with us. Jenna, I want to start with you because your boyfriend and your husband go way back. Yep. They've been friends for a very long time. How did that relationship evolve and how did it start?
So pretty much they've been friends since birth. They grew up right next door to each other, and so they were neighbors for years, and AJ and Jared and all of Jared's brothers would grow up just doing ridiculous things together as little kids.
Oh, look. We've got the family members in the section above us right now. They're very excited to see them on the TV screen. Now, Paxton, the two of you just met, but not just a few months ago. However, you guys come to the ballpark very often. Jenna, you said you grew up not far from Kauffman Stadium, but this is a very unique opportunity for you guys to take it all in and share some family time here with a lot of members of the military. So what does this night mean to you?
This is an incredible moment just to be here and to support them. I'm with his mom and his dad and his aunt and his cousin and just family, and just to be surrounded by friends and loved ones that are backing us up during this time and are supporting us as we support them.
Yep, so we've got about 50 people up here supporting them, so a really large group. So it's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun. You know what else is going to be fun? We're going to send it over to the Middle East right now, where your boyfriend and your husband are hanging out with our very own Joel Goldberg. Joel, how's it going out there?
It's going well, and I think the guys they're just watching and listening. So the beauty of technology, a little iPad set up here, and you could see wife and girlfriend. What is this experience like?
Oh, this is awesome. This is truly a great experience to be able to see his wife and my girlfriend, just being able to see the Royal Stadium and having y'all come here. It's truly awesome.
How about for you?
Yeah, I agree. Just getting away from the monotony of, the everyday rigmarole and getting to do something fun and see a piece of home, see my wife, see Paxton, and just kind of be able to bring a little of that here is awesome.
Well, you can see the smiles on their faces back there too. I know that with modern technology nowadays, you guys are young enough, you're used to FaceTime and all of that, but how unique is this experience to see them standing in the upper deck at Kauffman Stadium?
Oh, this is awesome, and I can tell right now that Paxton's super nervous, which to me is really funny because she was telling me about it, how nervous she was going to be if she got on live TV. But I think it's really funny.
Careful, you don't want to get in trouble here.
Yeah, he might get in trouble. See, at least I've got mine locked down. He's still working on his, so we don't know.
So they were both talking. You could hear, you cannot, but as you might expect, they're laughing hysterically at that. One locked down, one not locked down. What about being best friends? Tell me about your friendship, and they were talking about basically being friends since birth.
Yeah, so they moved in across the street from our house, and I'm pretty sure his mom came over with all the kids and were like, hey, do you have any kids near my age? And I peeked around the corner of my mom, and I don't know, we just hit it off and have been friends since. I was the best man in his wedding. He'll be the best man in my wedding. Like, I don't know, brothers forever.
A lot of love here, and I know back to home, we'll send it to you guys because I know there's two outs. These two guys work on Black Hawk helicopters, maintenance on those helicopters. We got to climb on those things today. They work the night shift, but apparently not tonight. Well, it's the morning. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Let's go back to you and Erica with the beautiful women.
Thank you, Joel. Hey, but Jenna, real quick, you said your husband you sent a care package over there, right? And you shipped over his baseball glove, and you said that all of the Royals greats that are over there, they signed the glove for him.
Yep, all 4 of them did. So he was really excited about that.
Thank you guys for joining us. Please enjoy the rest of the night. Have fun. Don't be nervous anymore.
No.
It's all over. I hope you guys had some fun getting to see your boyfriend and your husband.
Yeah.
And happy early anniversary to you as well.
Thank you.
All right, Ryan, back up to you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Erica.
Wow. Those guys did pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, that was fun.
2-2 on Garcia with Sanchez at third and 2 outs. Grounded to Mondesi. And using some fancy footwork, but the throw is late, and Garcia with his bad right leg goes hobbling up the right field line. He will get an RBI as Sanchez scores from third. I mentioned earlier that his right leg has been giving him problems all year. He's been on the disabled list twice with a hamstring problem, and he's going to have surgery on the right knee when the season's over.
Yeah, this little hesitation right there is what cost him the run and the hit. If he'd have got rid of it as soon as he got to it, it seemed like he stood up and turned and kind of went to gather and find the grip. Too late. Garcia's playing hurt. A lot of guys are this time of year.
Big rip by Daniel Palka, who singled to center field in the second inning. Every out that the White Sox have made tonight in play has been on the ground. Keller also has 1 strikeout. No balls, 2 strikes. And that's nothing new for Brad Keller this year. His ground ball rate is among the elite in the major leagues, not just the American League. And a breaking ball strikes out Palka, who wasn't running hard, and Veloria had some trouble finding it in the dirt. And that puts an end to the 3rd inning. One's got one locked down already, Hud.
Yeah, good for him. That's right. See him give the love sign there? Oh, it's beautiful.
Brian Goodwin leads off the bottom of the 3rd with the White Sox leading 1-0. I'm telling you tonight about the 35th Combat Aviation Brigade. 2 balls and no strikes. They're headquartered in Sedalia and currently leading a brigade task force with nearly 1,500 National Guard soldiers from 13 different states. Hit hard up the middle and past Anderson. So Goodwin, who got the double, which Got the Royals started in the bottom of the 10th inning and led to the win last night. Has a base hit in his first at bat tonight.
Yeah, talking to him before the game, I said, now, are you officially out of your slump? He goes, yeah, I am. And there you go. First time up, look at that. Just raked it. And, you know, nowadays, the shift, anything past the pitcher like that, usually an out. He got lucky, and they missed it. That's a hit. He's on his way again.
And his first hit, which put an end to an 0 for 14 last night, was a check swing, swinging bunt, basically. And you said, okay, the weight's off his shoulders now. He's going to have a big night.
Yeah, you know, he didn't mean to do it. And then he took the call third next time up, and then his third at-bat's what helped him win the game. So then before the game today, I said, hey, isn't that weird? He goes, baseball is the strangest sport there ever been invented. He goes, you can't figure it out. But you're right. One little hit like that turns the whole game around. So good for him. Hope he continues.
One and one on Rosell Herrera. He was not in the lineup last night. Ned Yost has him in right field tonight. Brett Phillips has not played for a week now after slamming into the wall last Tuesday in Cleveland.
Yeah, you know, and I was watching him today in batting practice. He was taking balls off the bat live, running him down, and then once he got to him and caught him, he would put his glove underneath his armpit and take his left hand and throw the ball in. So he's not even throwing with his right arm. That's not good. Maybe they haven't given him clearance to throw yet, but he's having no problem getting to the balls out there and making the catches.
Two and two. Rosell Herrera has played just about everywhere since coming over from the Cincinnati Reds. Second base, third base, center field, and right field.
Yep, including the DH. And he's pleased to be here. And he's been an incredible defender. All those positions with a new team has not erred one time. That's amazing. He takes really nice routes in the outfield, and in the infield, he does everything right. He's a big league ball player now. This is his 71st game. By then, usually the ball will find you or something will happen. You'll miscue, but he hasn't. 3-2. Good time to get a fastball and drive the gap.
And a good time to run. There goes Goodwin, and that's ball four. And the ball didn't roll far enough for Goodwin to go to third, so the Royals have a single and a walk and 2 on and nobody out. Tonight we welcome a special group of veterans from the Missouri Veterans Commission homes in Cameron and Warrensburg. The veterans here include some that served in Korea and Vietnam. They wanted to support the deployed Missouri National Guard soldiers, so nurses and staff organized the group trip here tonight.
Oh, great to see you, men. Way to go, guys. Thanks for coming. And ladies.
We need to wave some. Do we still need it?
Here's Mabry's Valoria, and the White Sox have the corners in, anticipating a bunt, and he bunts it back to the screen.
Yep, you really want to get on top of that ball and get it down. Sir, hope you bring us a run, bring us a win. Glad you guys are here. You know, Valoria, Dave Holtzman looked it up, had 11 career sacrifice bunts in the minors. Thank you, Holtzy. That's a good note. Because that first bunt he attempted, you don't want to do that. Last thing you want to do is pop it up. You want to stay on top of that ball, move the runners, and please your manager. Score some points with Ned Yost.
And he gets it down. Abreu flips over to Moncada. 3-4 on the sacrifice. Goodwin goes to third, and Herrera moves up to second base.
Well, I'm going to give him a ding, ding, ding. Nice job. Look at it. Look at the great position there. Look at the back lead knee bent, barrel above the hands, and he touched the top of the ball. That's all you want. Get it down, move the runners, and you go back to that dugout and get all kinds of love from your teammates. That's right. Call that a sacrifice bunt. Sacrificing your own at-bat, but moving the runner for the good of the team. Hoping the next guy can get him in.
And it's Whit Merrifield with 2 in scoring position. Ned Yost was all set for Whit to win the game last night after Goodwin doubled and Alcides Escobar got the bunt down. The Royals were prepared to have a runner at third with 1 out, with Merrifield and Mondesi coming up. But Genmar Gomez in a distracted moment threw the ball over the third baseman, and that resulted in the winning run. And Whit gets the job done tonight as he drops it into center field and scores Goodwin. Herrera goes to third, and the Royals tie the game at 1.
Yeah, now Whit's, he's not going to be bragging and calling home to his mom and dad about that hit, but you know what? That's a solid hit. It's in on him, jammed him, but you know what? He's strong enough to keeping his hands inside of the baseball with that bat, just using the large part of the field. And he got him a knock with a stake attached. RBI. There you go. We're on the board, fellas. Thank you. Guys and girls.
First and third for Mondesi.
So, Valoria, that's your run. Didn't knock it in, but you made it possible for Whit. Speed element is such a big threat to a team that's trying to defense that. You got Herrera over at third base, Whit at first, both guys that can run, and the defense all aware of that. The pitcher, starting pitcher, he's throwing the ball over there. He's a little bit nervous, taking him out of his game.
White Sox just took the lead in the top of the third inning on a play that Mondesi did not make. He made a good play handling a hop that he wasn't expecting, but then he got a little too casual and was late on his throw. Had the throw arrived earlier, the inning would have been over and the White Sox would not have scored. 1 ball, 1 strike, and now he has a chance to make up for that.
Little extra incentive here. Yeah.
He got the hard part out of the way, fielding the ground ball, and it appeared to think that he had more time to throw over to first base.
Yeah.
And now a bunt, and he's going to get an RBI. Now the throw goes into right field. The Royals take a 2-1 lead. And Merrifield goes to third on the throwing error by Castillo.
Well, last night's game, we talked about how poor the White Sox defenses have been all year, and here's a good point of it right here. Now, this is a nice way to be able to get an RBI, especially with less than 2 outs. He can do this with the best of them. Got a little backspin on there, ball deadened nicely. Castillo came out of there watching me, going, hey, I got it, don't worry about it. Well, he took off and took his focus and forgot how fast Mondesi really was, and he whipped it down the line. And the guys are all fired up, and the ladies. Yeah. Speed makes it happen. If you don't have a long ball, then you can win in postseason that way. We've seen it.
Alex Gordon with runners at first and third and 1 out. Now, you mentioned the White Sox struggles on defense, and the game-winning run last night ended up being an unearned run. And the White Sox have allowed the most unearned runs in the American League, 70. And that error is their 105th, which leads the American League. That's been a problem for a while. I mean, they're working on 4 or 5 bad defensive years in a row. Well, so that's one of the tasks ahead for Rick Renteria in his second year as White Sox manager.
Yeah, you know, that'll have to be addressed at some particular point. Now, they're trying to rebuild, obviously, with their offense and their pitching, but you cannot forget the most important commodity, and that is catching the ball. One of the most. I don't know which one you'd put first. I guess pitching, probably. Pitching, defense, and hitting. Because the Royals offense in the back-to-back years they went to the World Series, they were averaging just a little bit over 3 runs per game. They didn't have much of an offense, but they did everything else.
There goes Mondesi. Castillo's throw is high. Merrifield made a move toward the plate. Anderson throws over to third, but Witt is back in time.
Defense doesn't know what to do. I mean, they're thinking Castillo thought he could throw him out. Absolutely not. Put it in your pocket. And because Witt had a big lead over there at third base, could have thrown that away and scored a run. That's how you do it. It's how the game's played.
21 stolen bases, and 16 of those have been in the second half to lead the major leagues. And since George Brett is listening at Camp Buehring, George, Adalberto Mondesi just broke one of your records. George had the most stolen bases for a Royals infielder younger than 24. So there's a few qualifications for that record, but George had 20, and now Mondesi has 21. So George, our condolences.
No, I guarantee you George is happy.
That was our trivia question last night.
Mondesi hopes he gets his number hung on the wall like that here in this beautiful house.
We'll be checking in with George next half inning. Alex pulls it foul and stays alive at 1-2.
There's a chance right here to really put a hurting on the Sox. Infield in, Alex battling. Let's see if he can serve one out there. Doesn't have to hit it hard.
Sanchez runs to his dugout, but is back into the seats. Thank you for sending in your tweets tonight, showing support for our troops, and in particular the 35th Cab, CAB, out of Sedalia.
Camp Bury, correct? Right.
Alex hits it high. He hits it deep. Halka is at the fence, and he makes the play. Alex will still get an RBI, getting Merrifield to the plate. Mondesi goes to third, and the Royals take a 3-1 lead.
So 2 sacrifices in the inning. A sacrifice bunt and move the runners over, get it all going by Valoria. And now this is a sacrifice fly. Good swing. Alex, that had a chance to be out of the ballpark, but just didn't quite get enough out of it. Palka stayed with it. Camp Bury, they were hoping it was out of here.
They're going to appeal that Mondesi left too soon from second base. Second base umpire Lance Barrett says no. Tag plays can be challenged. So I don't know how strongly the White Sox actually felt about that. No balls and 1 strike.
I watched him. He tagged, but you know, he didn't really kick it in full gear on the way to third base, probably assuming that, well, he probably was just going to stay at third. But I thought he could have scored if he'd have busted it and he went 100% around that base. They'd have had to make a perfect throw to get him.
Grounded to third. Sanchez backhands and throws and makes a nice play. That saved a run to get Hunter Dozier. But the Royals get 3 on RBIs from Merrifield, Mondesi, and Gordon. And we'll check in with George Brett when we come back. By keeping them connected to family, home, and country throughout their service to the nation. Located at hundreds of locations worldwide, the USO is a private nonprofit organization, not a government agency. The program, services, and entertainment tours are made possible by the American people, corporate partners, and the dedication of volunteers and staff. And standing by at USO Camp Buehring, as the count is 1-1 on Nicky Delmonico, is Joel and George.
All right, Rhino, Hud, thank you very much. It is 4:22 in the morning, and George Brett is loving every minute of it. I mean, you have been, I'm not exaggerating here, you have been a kid in a candy store all day long. What is it about this that you love so much?
Well, these guys are away from their families, you know, and the craziest thing is everybody's thanking us for coming over here. We're taking 5 days out of our life. That's it. These guys are taking years at a time out of their lives, and they're leaving their kids at home. They're leaving their wives at home, their brothers, their parents at home, and I left 5 days. I missed 4 days of golf, Joel. What's more important, what these guys do or what I do? I'm very happy to be here.
You know, and George has been signing nonstop autographs, as Sweeney and Sanders and Sabes. But we walk in for lunch today when we got here, and George is making friends in line well before we sit down, and he's pulling this kid over to sit with him here and this kid there who goes to Ole Miss. I mean, you really struggle to make friends here.
Well, it was amazing. Some kid heard me say something about my son going to Ole Miss, and he said hotty toddy. Well, if you go to Ole Miss, that's the key word, hotty toddy. I said, I'm sitting with you, buddy. And so we sat together. He's got maybe 8 months left, and then he's going to retire, and he's going to open a sports bar in Memphis. I said, you let me know when that opens. I gave him my number. You let me know. I'll be the first jersey on the wall. But it's great. These guys are really fun.
I want to make sure before we get to 2 outs and there's delays that and this isn't the most important thing, but you told me that I pulled you out of the line for funnel cake. George doesn't cut in lines here, but they're serving funnel cake late at night.
Oh,
here you go, buddy.
Dinner. That's breakfast and dinner today right there. I've never had one.
Really?
I had one. I stood in line 30 minutes, and all of a sudden Dina comes up and says, George, you got to go over there now. I was one guy away.
Line's long.
And I gave it to my buddies over here I'm sitting with. I guarantee it's gone. Guarantee it's gone.
Saying I got a funnel cake from George Brett. You can check that out. You can let us know how that is.
Good. Never had one.
Certainly never had one at 4:24 in the morning.
No.
We had a chance, and we're going to do a lot more the next couple of days. There's going to be a softball game at another camp and all kinds of tours. But I know how much you love all the fun stuff with the military. Tell me about the simulator and getting on the Black Hawk helicopter.
Well, we didn't fly on the helicopter, but we did the simulated gunfire deal and trying to shoot some of the bad guys with all these guns. And I had a big Tommy gun. I don't know what it's called, but it was a 150 MGs or something. And I'm up there going, I don't think I hit anything, but it's a lot of fun. See what these guys do every day. I found out today there's a guy that's doing the obstacle course at 7 in the morning. His whole battalion is. I think we're leaving at like 7 in the morning. We're going to stop by, and I want to see you do the obstacle course.
7, like in a few hours?
Yeah. They're doing it at 7 in the morning.
Whatever you say. I mean, you know, it's yours.
I want to see Sweeney do the obstacle course. He could probably do it, he and Reggie.
Joel,
Listen,
everyone in Kansas City wants to see you do the obstacle course.
Sweeney and Reggie Sanders were working out at 10.
They worked out right when we got in. I worked out the next morning. I'm going to work out this afternoon, and that's about it for me. But it's been, Joel, this has been a dream come true to do something like this.
For all of us, and Ryan, nobody wants to see that. It's not good for anyone. George, this is you did this. You said in 1976. Totally different experience nowadays, right?
Yeah, I was told I was going to go to Germany. I was told I was going to Italy and Turkey. I flew to Germany, and I was at Wiesbaden for 3 days. We refueled in Italy, and I spent 23 days in Turkey. Every 3 days, we would go to a different Air Force base that all they did was track the sky, making sure who was flying where, and nobody was going anywhere they weren't supposed to go. 3 days later, we would go to another base, 6 hours away. We did that by bus. So this USO show's a little bit better. Accommodations are a lot better, and the food's a lot better, and the bases are a lot better, but this has definitely been a lot of fun.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Are you going to finish this whole thing, or are you going to share it with all your new friends?
I'm sharing this. Sharing this with some guys that live in, let me see, where did they live? Topeka, and the other.
We got to go to a break. The inning's over, but enjoy your funnel cake. Guys, back to you.
want to say to you guys thank you for all the service you guys doing for us. Appreciate it. We think about you guys, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you for that, Salvi. 3-1 Royals. Brian O'Hearn will lead off. And he hits the first pitch high and foul off the left field line. Ryan walked in the second inning. The White Sox got a run in the top of the third. The Royals answered with 3 in the bottom of the third on RBIs from Merrifield, Mondesi, and Gordon. Dylan Covey is back in the starting rotation thanks to an injury, and that was Michael Kopech, one of the big Red Sox prospects who came to Chicago with Yoan Moncada in the trade for Chris Sale, and he has to have Tommy John surgery. Lined over Abreu, fair ball and down into the right field corner.
Go ahead.
Ryan O'Hearn is digging for 3. He is in there. And that's his second triple.
Go ahead. Love it. The fact that he hit it well, but he hit it off the end a little bit, so it didn't just carry on down that line. It gave him a few steps out of the box. Watching him run the bases, he hit the inside corner, which is proper, fundamentally sound, and then he got about 3 steps and made up his own mind. Didn't pick up Jersley, the third base coach. Said, I can do this on my own. Leadoff triple. Continuing to show his skills.
Jorge Bonifacio. He grounded into a double play to end the second inning, and now he has a chance to make up for that. And Covey throws a well-located fastball for strike 1. He didn't mean to do it. 0-2. Fastball had good movement on it.
It did. It had some life to it. One of Covey's problems this year, and one of the reasons he got knocked out of that starting rotation, is the fact that those sliders and breaking balls have been hit at a 346 clip. The opponents are raking it. So he's going more heaters.
And an 0-2 pitch is right out over the plate, and that is to the track and over the wall for a double. O'Hearn scores, and the Royals lead is 4-1.
Bonifacio hits this two-seamer way too much to the plate. That ball had backspin on it. He tattooed it, no question. And he's telling himself, Engel, catch that one. No chance.
And now runner at second base with nobody out. And the White Sox are ready for a bunt from Goodwin. Sanchez is on the grass at third, and Brian shows bunt and takes a strike. So far, so good for the Royals fans.
Exactly right.
Camp Buehring. Goodwin got the 3-run third going with a leadoff single to center field. No bunt this time, and that's high and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 252 overall with the Nationals and the Royals. But with the Royals, he is hitting .320. Ryan Burr is the right-hander warming up in the White Sox bullpen. He's got good movement on his fastball that started in, and Brian was backing off, and then it tailed over the inside edge. So we'll see what he does now ahead in the count. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Look, Heater. He's challenging guys.
Still 2-2.
Jorge Bonifacio, that base hit there, he makes him 8 for his last 18 with runners in scoring position. Doing a nice job. That's exactly what Ned Yost believes this young man can be, a run-producing hit machine.
That's sliced into the left field corner and run down. Look out. Delmonico went head first into the side wall, and he's slow to get up.
And that ball kept tailing and tailing. And I can tell you that Brian Goodwin was talking to that ball saying, get by him, get by him. Nice ovation. This ball just took him right in the wall, and of course when he dives, he hits that dirt, and that dirt's gonna make you slide. Turn your head. Batting. Still hurt.
Did he keep his feet in bounds?
Think so.
And now Rosell Herrera, he walked and scored in the 3-run third. That breaking ball hangs high, ball 1. Good changeup. 1-1. Off speed again. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Herrera.
I think Kobe's figuring out I better not be going too firm with these guys. They're all over my fastball. I think I'll back it off a little, and that's what he's doing here. Just throw him a couple of those in a row, though. You start looking for him. Don't try to pull it. Just drop it into left field.
And that takes care of Herrera. So he went off speed to strike out Herrera, and for Kobe that is his 3rd. This is Cindy, and Cindy's husband is Major Mike Sweetland from Raytown, and Mike is over at Camp Buehring, and he is helping us with our audio and video connection with Joel. And Major Mike wanted to wish Cindy a happy early anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Cindy. Glad you can make it to the ball game.
Mabry's Valoria helped set up the 3-run 3rd inning with a sac bunt. So I think the message has been passed on to Cindy. Major Mike Sweetland from Raytown. Thank you, Major Mike. jammed. And an easier play for Delmonico, and he'll bring it down. The Royals add a run. Bonifacio's double scores Ryan O'Hearn, and they're cheering at Camp Buehring with the Royals ahead 4-1. Ones for you broadcast as we honor the 35th cab out of Sedalia. We have some special guests here in the booth. This is Emily Hall.
Yes.
This is Charlie Hall. Hi, Charlie. How are you? You having a good time?
Say hi.
And this is Emily's father, Jim Hill.
Yes.
Good to see you.
You
who's
too.
a Purple Heart recipient from Vietnam.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And joining us in just a moment is going to be Sergeant First Class Chavis Hall, who works in airfield management. And we got a refresher course on the National Guard and how unique it is to the other branches of the military. And it's easy to forget that the National Guard serves both here and abroad. And we always hear about the National Guard when we have a natural disaster like an earthquake or a tornado, and our thoughts, of course, on the eastern seaboard right now with Hurricane Florence. And Chavis certainly represents serving here and abroad. I was looking at his impressive resume. Chavis has been deployed 5 times.
Yeah, just a couple.
More than a couple. He's been to Germany, and that was over the course of 3 years. He was there for Hurricane Katrina in 2005 in New Orleans, Kosovo for 2 years, Kuwait for a couple of years, and now at Camp Buehring. This will be a deployment that will go into 2019, and he is standing by right now with Joel.
All right, we have Chavis here. We also have Mike Sweeney, and I'll explain in a moment, but tell me about this experience for you.
It's been great. My wife hit Mike up on Twitter and told him to give me a big hug, and he came through with his promise.
Mike was on a mission this morning. I saw you make a beeline with the biggest hug, and you're a hugger anyway. So take us through this experience.
Well, I was at the mess hall. We were eating some lunch, and we got 8,000, 9,000 servicemen and women eating lunch. And I said, anyone know a Sergeant First Class Chavis Hall? And this guy said, that's my roommate. And I said, hey, I'm here. His wife asked me to deliver a hug from her and the 2 children, and I need to find him, and he said he's waiting for you. So I found Chavis, and when I gave him that hug, I wanted to let him know it wasn't from me, although I'm honored to be here. It was from his wife, Emily, and their 2 children.
So what did you think, Chavis, when you got that big hug?
It was definitely a shock, and then the rest of the team came out of the bus, and I got a hug from everybody with the team that's with us here. it was definitely a speechless moment for me.
So I want to ask you about this real quick, and then we'll head to a break. You've been, they said, deployed 5 times. What is it like to have everybody here?
It's definitely great to have somebody from home, just that home field advantage, be able to associate with somebody that is from the same area. It's just a shock. It's actually a great feeling to have somebody from home.
Well, you got a new friend in Mike Sweeney. Yeah. Michael, great work.
Hey, Chavis, they're the real heroes, the people, the men and women here.
No doubt about it. Let's go back to you guys in the studio, or up in the booth.
All right, Joel. Charlie, did you get to see your daddy on TV there? Yeah? Is that pretty neat?
Yeah.
Well, Jim, that must bring back some memories for you. I mean, your son-in-law, boy, he's quite a career already.
Yeah, he's doing really well. Okay. Really well. Everybody's real proud of him, and all of the, his superiors are real impressed with him. I think he's got a real good shot at moving up.
Yeah. How long did you serve?
From 66 to 72.
Okay. With what branch?
Army.
With the Army, okay.
Yeah. 13 months in Vietnam.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you so much for having
us. This is great. And I hope you're having a great time at the ball game. And
thank you.
And thanks for coming to the booth so you could see firsthand what they're doing.
Just want to give a shout out to my mom, Teresa Arnett, and the rest of the Arnett family there at the Royals game. Go Royals! Woo!
Thank you, Specialist Arnett. I mean, if you're going to get some time on TV, right? I mean, make it count.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why not? Some of us get to do it every night, but we are so thrilled that shout outs, the folks out there at Camp Burning that are watching in the middle of the morning, fans out here in Kansas City are really getting a kick out of this one, especially with the Royals leading 4-1. Brad Keller looking stellar.
Another base hit for Whit Merrifield. He has 2 hits tonight. And 168 for the year. His hit in the 3rd inning drove in a run, and then he eventually came around to score.
Breaking ball, that's what we're talking about with Kobe. Kobe's off-speed pitches have been elevated, and when you're elevating, it's easier for the hitter to put the ball in play. Just like that, especially to a hitter like Whit, who uses the whole field.
It is coming up on 5 in the morning at Camp Buring.
It's almost time for Goldberg to get ready for his obstacle course. Start stretching now, Joel.
Someone's going to have to teach Joel how to stretch before they teach him how to do the obstacle course.
There you go. We love your daddy, too.
That'll be out of play. By the way, this is the third deployment of the 35th Combat Aviation Brigade, supporting Operation Spartan Shield and Inherent Freedom. There are 3 battalions under their command from 14 states: Alabama, Arkansas, Connecticut, Georgia, Hawaii, Illinois, Louisiana, Minnesota, South Dakota, Texas, Utah, Vermont, and of course Missouri and Kansas. And the ball was juggled by Anderson, according to second base umpire Lance Barrett. So it appeared that the throw beat Whit Merrifield, but Anderson did not have control.
Well, if it stands, that's his 32nd bag. Look at him going for the far part of the corner of it. And tag. Oh, nice call by second base umpire Lance Barrett. Ball rolled up his arm. He tried to disguise it, act like he had it the whole way. No dice.
Mondesi has driven in a run, and he has a stolen base. And Mondesi and Merrifield have really led the charge for the Royals in that category since the All-Star break. Royals have stolen 45 bases since the All-Star break. That's the second most in the major leagues, tied with Tampa Bay. Only the Indians have more. And Mondesi as an individual has the most in the major league since the All-Star break. Late movement. Mondesi is caught looking, so he's not able to advance Merrifield. So more on the 35th cab. The commander is Colonel Charles Houseman, who had one of our shout outs coming back from break, and he is a native of St. Joseph. You ever been to Sedalia?
I have.
Yep.
I went through one of their military institutes there, or stations.
Alex Gordon was on with the non-pitch intentional walk, so the Royals have 2 on 1 out. Hunter Dozier's coming up, and the White Sox will go to their bullpen and bring in Ryan Burr. broadcast at Kauffman Stadium. It's been a lot of fun. They don't warn you, by the way, when they shoot off the cannon, so that will take your breath away. So will the 21-gun salute. And taps leading up to the national anthem and a flyover by the B-2 from Whiteman Air Force Base. Checking in with Joel. It's been a great night. And the Royals, by the way, are leading 4-1. This is Ryan Burr. That's Burr, not to be confused with Buehring.
Oh, you mean like
Camp Buehring?
I've been saying Buehring.
Apparently, you've been saying Buehring. We have
I'm
received
so
a text message from Mike Sweeney, so we'll work on it together here, Hud. But although apparently the men and women are having a lot of fun with every different pronunciation you've used for Camp Buehring. So let's try it together. Buehring. Buehring.
Buehring. And regardless, we're thrilled they're listening. Absolutely. I'll work on it. I'm sorry.
I don't think you have to apologize.
Well, I don't want to offend anyone.
I mean, it's coming up on 5 in the morning over there. So anything you can do to help keep them awake, I think they appreciate it.
Okay.
2 on, 1 out. Hunter Dozier is 0 for 2, and one of his outs was on a nice play by Sanchez at third. And there's some justice there from the White Sox point of view, because Dozier's made some nice plays at third tonight. The runners go on a double steal and no throw. It's a strike on Dozier, and now he has runners at second and third with 1 out, and the Royals are running wild on Wellington Castillo tonight.
Yeah, they are. I'll tell you what, Gordon, he had a huge lead over there at first base, and he's loving that. That's the best base you can steal, the easiest one, the back end of a double.
And for Witt, that's 33. So he leads the American League now after leading the league last year with 34. Way inside to Dozier, 2 balls and 1 strike. This is the first time the Royals have seen Ryan Burr, who came up through the Arizona Diamondbacks organization. Dozier grounds it into left center field. Merrifield scores. Here's Alex. Here's the throw, and it's off of Abreu's glove. And Hunter Dozier drives in 2, and the Royals lead is 6-1.
Dozier's all over this 4-seam fastball by Burr. He just ripped a Burr right up the middle there. Nice stroke. I mean, that ball, we went right by Alex Gordon. Watch Alex. He goes, whoa, man, I better hold on for that, baby. That was hit hard. Good hustle by Alex, who just ripped off his 11th base. Yeah.
Buehring, Hud. Not to be confused with Ryan Burr.
Okay, but look, that was well struck. We got to get the exit velo on that.
Up and away to Ryan O'Hearn, who has a walk, a triple, and a run scored.
What new 105 exit velo off of a Dozier hit. He is barreling everything he gets. He puts out there. It's hit hard.
Is that a swing? It was. Well, since we hadn't seen Ryan Burr before, and before the series began, I did a little research on him to figure out where he came from. And a couple of years ago, he was interviewed and was asked what relievers he admires. And he said he liked any pitcher who had an attack mentality. like, quote, Craig Kimbrell, Trevor Rosenthal, and anyone in the Royals organization. How about that for a compliment?
Really?
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Sounds like he might want to be in some royal blue. Whoa.
So that just highlights the reputation that Royals bullpen had in 2014, 2015, and into 2016.
Well, he's got mid 90s to upper 90s with his fastball, 4-seam. Slider change. Holds a school record for saves at ASU, Arizona State University.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Like that.
And I should also point out that one of the guys he mentioned, Trevor Rosenthal, is from Lee's Summit and went to Lee's Summit West. And some big save seasons with the Cardinals. Sanchez, the third baseman, with the overshift. 2 outs. Another special thanks to our sponsors who are with us all season. Tonight they have stepped aside to let us bring you, the fans, and the troops. This one's for you. And it is 6-1 Royals in the bottom of the 5th inning. It is 9 p.m. here. It is 5 a.m. there. And here's Jorge Bonifacio with Dozier at first base and 2 down. Bonifacio has driven in one of the runs tonight. Oh, 0-1. Did you respond to Michael when he texted us about the pronunciation?
Oh, every time.
Okay.
Yeah, in between commercials.
That text probably cost you about $400.
Oh, it did. Well, I won't be texting anymore. That's for sure. But anytime a guy like him texts me, who am I to not text back? I told him I was sorry. I apologized.
He even sent us a video.
I apologized, you know. But look at them, they're still there.
To Michael when he texted us about the pronunciation. Oh, every time. Right? Yeah, in between covers. That text probably cost you about $400. People will laugh at anything at 5:01 in the morning. Dozier is going to be picked off. He thought he had the jump of his life against Ryan Burr, but Burr had not come to the plate. The Royals are going to want to take another look, but Dozier has his helmet off and is walking back to the dugout, so he thinks he was out, and Ned Yost agrees, and that'll put an end to the bottom of the 5th inning. But the Royals get 2 more runs thanks to Hunter Dozier driving in Merrifield and Gordon to make it 6-1 KC.
for you. Of course, we are honoring our military here at home and, of course, overseas. And joining me right now is Haley Zeller, the wife of Staff Sergeant Jerry Zeller. Haley, thanks for coming to hang out with us for a little bit. What is this night like for you, coming to the ballpark, getting to hang out with all of these members of the military and kind of just sharing a moment together?
It is amazing. It's been so much fun. Makes everyone feel so special. I know the soldiers and us families, so it's been great.
Now, you and your husband grew up coming to the ballpark here, coming to Royals games. Of course, you come to the postseason games in that 2015 season. What was that like?
Oh, it was amazing. I guess, as everyone in the whole city knows, it was unbelievable. And, oh, hi.
there's hubby.
And, yeah, the best postseason ever.
Technology is pretty amazing these days, and you were just telling me before we came on air how you guys get a chance to talk and you get to share a moment together, and you get to watch. You've been watching Chiefs games together over FaceTime.
Yeah.
What is that like?
It's pretty fun. It kind of makes it feel like we're there. We don't talk a lot, but we're just watching the games and hanging. Oh yeah, cheering on together. So it's fun.
All right. Do you want to say hello to your hubby? You want to say a little message to him? Go ahead.
Hi, babe.
Hey, Joel. How's it going?
Hey, babe, how you doing?
Hey.
We got a little bit of that delay, but Jerry did just hear what you had to say. I'm sure that you would love to talk to your wife.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, Haley, how's the game going?
Oh, it's so great. You had a great shout out. This is nice. It's bigger than FaceTime normally is.
Did I? We didn't get to see it here, but
your shout out.
Stadium.
All right, so let's we'll take over here for a second with the delays. Just Jerry, tell me about being here tonight and knowing that so much of your family and your wife is back at Kauffman Stadium.
It's great here at Camp Burning. We're crushing it.
I thought it was pronounced Beering.
Buring, I think. I'm not sure. Well,
you know, we're at that time of the morning. We just decided we were going to make fun of HUD. That was Jerry's suggestion. So he's already a best friend of mine. And just so you know, Mike Sweeney just had everybody do a shout out. That'll be a text back to those guys to make fun of the pronunciations. Okay, let's get back on track here. But that was a good little bit, Jerry. How much does this mean to you and everyone here to be able to have that piece of home? On the delay, by the way, they're hearing the joke right now, so they're enjoying that. How much does this mean?
It's fantastic to just know you have a great city behind you and your country back home supporting you, and the greatest family and friends in the world. Makes it all worth it.
All right, well, we're glad that the two of you can share this and then go have a real FaceTime conversation later. Erica, let's go back to you.
Thank you, Joel. Haley, you were telling me just a minute ago also that he texted you earlier tonight because he saw you on TV, but it wasn't because he saw you, it was because he saw the sign that you were holding.
Yeah, that was the original response. Oh, the sign. Oh, and you were there too.
What does the sign say? Why was he so excited about the sign?
It says, if you want to win, put Jerry in, which, of course, obviously.
Jerry really loves himself some Jerry. Maybe he's going to deliver the game-winning run in this one tonight or something.
That's the goal, I think, always.
Well, Haley, we appreciate your time. Jerry, we thank you for hanging out with Joel and putting up with him and tolerating him at the wee hours of the morning. Thank you. And enjoy the rest of the night.
All right, thank you.
Ryan, HUD, back up to you guys.
Thanks, Erica. You do this all night.
Oh, it's a blast. My face is hurting because I've been laughing and smiling all night. Man, this is just great to see the families having fun with each other.
And watching Brad Keller tonight with a 6-1 lead. That's just his second walk. And the ground ball pitcher has been that again. That fly ball by Garcia 2 batters ago is the first out in the air tonight. And now Nicky Delmonico takes a strike. Keller has 17 outs tonight. 12 have been on the ground, to go along with 4 strikeouts and 1 flyout.
Just been very impressive to watch the development of the young Royals pitching staff, including you know, some Danny Duffy and now Kennedy back in there. But the Royals' starting ERA since August 22nd is 3.10. That's 5th best in Major League Baseball since August 22nd. So they are really showing some nice promise here late in the season and finishing strong, which is exactly what you want.
Two balls, two strikes. And you think 1 run, 4 hits for Keller, that it's been an easy night, but there have been some innings tonight where he's really had to pitch. This was not one of them, however. He gets around a walk from Palka. He strikes out his 5th, and there's Haley and Staff Sergeant Jerry Zeller. This one's for you.
Royals. I have a father who served in the Army, a brother who was a Marine, and I want to thank you and them for all your service, all the men and women overseas and at home. We really appreciate what you do.
And thank you for that, Cal, who's having a chat with Brad Keller, who has given up just 1 run, 4 hits in 6 innings.
Cal Eldred's got to be really proud. Now he's a very humble guy, but he's got to be proud of his work this year. It hadn't been easy, especially that start they got off to. Just a terrible start. Put them in the hole right away that they could never dig out of. But he's done well with his starting guys, the guys in the bullpen. You know, he's working with them. And for a pitching coach with that kind of experience that's done everything you can do as a pitcher in the big leagues, that's valuable.
Bonifacio hits it hard, but right at the White Sox shortstop Tim Anderson, but he's running hard. So he makes it close. 1 away in the 6th inning. Ladies, join us this Friday for our annual Girls Night Out here at Kauffman Stadium, presented by Kansas City area Chevy dealers. The first 10,000 ladies through the gates will receive a Royals ladies canvas bag. Buy a VIP package to also receive an exclusive Royals charm bracelet. You can purchase your tickets at royals.com/girls night out. It's coming up on Friday. And we thank all of you who have tweeted tonight at FS Kansas City or hashtag Armed Forces Night. Those gentlemen, unfortunately, will not be able to make it to Girls' Night Out. But they were listening to the details coming up on Friday.
Yeah, no, we're just loving getting the shots. Happy that they made time in their morning so that we could broadcast them a game. A nice game, too, by the way.
Two and one on Brian Goodwin. He got a 3-run rally started in the 3rd with a single and scored one of the 3 runs. Two and two. This is the 2nd inning for Ryan Burr. He came on in relief of Dylan Covey last inning, and Hunter Dozier greeted him with a 2-run single to center. Both of those runs were charged to Covey. So Covey gave up 6, including an unearned run. So now the White Sox have allowed an American League most 71 unearned runs this year. Goodwin goes the other way. That's the swing we saw a lot of before he went on the disabled list. And he's 2 for 3 tonight.
Well, you know, he was sharing with me before the game about how he's having to turn his body a little bit more towards left field and start thinking left field more. Because when he's been in that little slump, and it's typical, you try to pull your way out. And he was pulling a lot of breaking balls. It stands there. That's nice. He hits a lot off his front side, which is good. That's where you get your pop. But he let the ball travel deep, and he did what he said. Turned his body and started thinking left field. He's back now. It was that little check swing, ugly doinker that he got the other night, last night. He got him back on track.
Now Herrera grounds it to Abreu. Out at second. Anderson back to Abreu. 3-6-3, and that's the second double play for the White Sox tonight. On this Patriot Day, USAA honors those who have served and all our service members at home and abroad. But in the first inning, he gave up a leadoff walk. This was a huge play behind Keller in the second. The White Sox had 2 on, nobody out when Dozier made that diving play. They eventually had second and third with 1 out, and Keller worked out of that. White Sox had 2 hits in the third, but have no hits since the third inning. You'll see his cruise since then. In fact, the White Sox only have 1 base runner since the third, and now Keller at 95 pitches throws a strike to Wellington Castillo.
You know, just really smooth mechanics. And the reason we're seeing such an uptick in the pitchers from these young guys like, you know, Fulmer, excuse me, Keller, and others is because they're able to repeat their mechanics. They're able to repeat, and that's what Ned Yost talks a lot about. Repeating the mechanics is what gives them the consistency that they need to win up here.
He has retired 10 of the last 11. Similar to Jacob Junis. Junis, remember, gave up 3 runs and a couple of home runs in the third inning, but then he finished by setting down 15 of the last 16.
By repeating his mechanics. He's been able to repeat them, and he's wearing probably that U.S. Coast Guard hat. There was an exchange of hats before the game that was really, really emotional. It's really cool to see.
Castillo is out on a pop-up to second base. It's a whole new ball game with RBI Baseball 18. RBI Baseball 18 delivers an all-new franchise mode and much more. It's available now. Learn more at rbigame.com. Rated E for everyone. Tim Anderson is 0 for 2. That's a swing. 0 and 2. Still no balls, 2 strikes. Anderson is hitless in the series. He is 0 for 6. One ball, 2 strikes. Go. 103 pitches. A little bit high. Keller's season high is 114 pitches. That was 2 starts ago against the Orioles. He also has a start where he's gone 109. Anderson's giving him a battle. Got him. That is his 6th strikeout, and now Keller has set down 12 of the last 13.
Rolling. Yeah, look at that breaker. That's a big breaker. You know, that almost has some backup slider type action to it, coming back into the right-handed batter.
5 of his 6 strikeouts have been with that pitch tonight. And now Adam Engel, who was fooled by the breaking ball. And he was the strikeout victim in the 5th. He has also grounded out to Dozier. We'll be staying here for God Bless America. Dozier runs to the infield grass and throws out Engel for a second time, and Brad Keller goes 7. He gives up 1 run, 4 hits, and finishes by setting down 13 of the last 14. So on our Armed Forces night, we go down to the field, and performing God Bless America is Senior Airman Annika Bentley.
Airman Annika Bentley.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Oh, God bless America, my home, sweet home.
And we just wanted to say hi to all our friends and family in Kansas City. Love you, Callan. Love you, Jason. Love you, Jake, Ethan, Hunter. Hey, Lisa.
And thank you. It is 6-1 Royals in the bottom of the 7th inning. Nate Jones is pitching for the White Sox. And the Royals will have Valoria, Merrifield, and Mondesi. Grounded sharply to second. Moncada waits and throws out Valoria. And we go back to Camp Buehring. And here's Joel.
Well done. Brett Saberhagen, Reggie Sanders. What a day. Well, it was yesterday and today. I haven't heard anybody complaining about this. How would you put this into perspective in terms of things you've done in your life?
Wow, it's hard to encapsulate really the feeling and being here. And so my takeaway in all of this, because number one, you really don't know what to expect, but I feel like I'm in the clubhouse of a baseball field. And so the way that they have welcomed us, and really I feel like family. And so that's really my takeaway from this.
Yeah, Saves, one of the captains here was telling me there's a synergy here that you don't find other places between the Royals and the USO and with the men and women here. What have you noticed?
Well, these guys really have kept us motivated, the men and women that are here. We might be a little worn out from all the travel and that, but they keep us motivated and keep us excited about being here, and it's an honor. It's really a privilege, and we're very blessed to be here.
What's your favorite part of today?
I've taken everything away from today, and it just really taken it all in. And I wish people could see through my eyes what we've experienced today. Some of the people and the women that we've met, and the guys, and being on the Black Hawk and checking that out, and getting pictures with a lot of these soldiers. It's been a phenomenal day.
I can't even, you know, it's funny because of the stories, right? And so it's all those stories that feed other experiences. And so really when I go home, share it with my family, share it with my loved ones, and really to be able to learn how to really continue to love them better, to be a better husband, and all those things are so important.
Well said. We'll let you guys go get a little bit of rest, and I know we'll be back at it tomorrow. Not live on Fox Sports Kansas City, but visiting in other camps. So, Reggie, Sabes, thank you both.
Thank you. Thanks.
There we go, guys, and I'll sum it up like this. I had somebody just say to me, man, how do you deal with the tough losses when things aren't going well? And I said, because we know there are people around the world that are watching. We know that someone out there wants to watch this team, good or bad, and we're watching that here tonight. It's truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
It's well said.
Man. Yep. That's so good. Thank you guys so much for bringing us such a great ball game. The guys on the field are making it a happy occasion too. But Joel, one of the reasons is that we know how hard the game is to play. So when they're struggling like this, you know, it's easy they make it look so good, but it's also important to remember that if we all could do it, they all would be doing it. It's not easy.
And while we're talking about, you know, honoring our service men and women and how much we appreciate them and how much we respect them and honor them. And I've been asked the question, as you have many times, how are you doing it this year with all the losses? And, you know, my first answer is this group of young men that the Royals have in uniform right now are the most respectful and professional young men I've been around. So they're easy to pull for, they're fun to watch, and they represent the Royals well.
Couldn't be said any better, but please don't go in our fountains.
Just want to let you guys know that we're thinking about you. We think about you guys all the time. We really appreciate what you do for us over here, and we don't take that for granted. So really appreciate what you guys do, and yeah, just keep fighting. We're thinking about you, and go Royals.
And Witt, with the Royals 6-1 lead in the top of the 8th inning, has chipped in with 2 hits, 2 runs, an RBI, and 2 stolen bases. Tim Hill will pitch the 8th inning after Brad Keller gave up 1 run, 4 hits in 7 innings, and knocked down 13 of the last 14. A night after Jacob Junis went 8 and retired 15 of the last 16.
Those 2 young guys are having success because they're repeating their mechanics. They're showing absolutely no signs of fatigue this late in the season, and they're on a roll. They are putting that ball where they want it, and that's the reason. And they're getting some run support, something that pitchers didn't get in the first couple months of the season. That's how they're putting wins on the board. But home cooking certainly has been good.
One and one on Yoan Moncada. He is 0 for 2 with a walk from the other side of the plate. Two balls and 1 strike. Hill will get 2 switch hitters to begin the inning. Moncada, Sanchez, and then Abreu, although the Royals have others up in the bullpen. Off of his leg. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jake Newberry, who got the win out of the bullpen last night, and now Brian Flynn is about to join him with bullpen coach Vance Wilson out there. Have you gotten to spend much time with Vance this year?
I have. I've enjoyed every bit of it.
Yeah, he's great.
Very personable, full of knowledge.
Strike 3 called, and that pitch appeared to be outside. And outside or not, Yoan Moncada, who has 196 strikeouts now to lead the major leagues, at least against the Royals, it seems like 3 out of 4 are looking at a fastball.
Yeah, it seems like he's not aggressive enough with 2 strikes. I was talking with their hitting coach Todd Steverson today before the game about Moncada in specific, and some of the other hitters, the young hitters, Anderson, who have a lot of strikeouts. He said just what I was talking about earlier. These guys are young. They've played 2 or 3 years in the minors. That's all. So they're learning how to hit at the highest level. And I quickly forgot about that. I think, you know what? Some of us, played 6, 7, 8 years in the minors. We knew how to play when we got here. That's called development.
And I think when you were playing, it was not as big of a jump from AAA to the big leagues. I mean, when you were playing, if a guy was hitting 350 at AAA, he was probably going to hold his own at the big league level, right?
I agree.
I mean, he may not hit 350, but now it just seems like if you're hitting 350 at AAA, I mean, that doesn't mean anything when you get to the big leagues.
Yeah, but just the learning, knowing how to, play the game, how to run the bases. When do you take a chance? When don't you? A lot of little things like that. When you learn after repetition and repetition in the minor leagues. And if you don't get that, you're learning here. We're seeing a lot of that in today's game. So they just got to be patient. 2-strike approach is hard to teach. But you got to have a plan. Because almost half the time you're hitting with 2 strikes.
Whistled over Tim's head, but Merrifield is there, 2 down. And once again, we want to thank our sponsors who have been with us all season. Tonight they have stepped aside to let us bring you, the fans, and the troops. This one's for you. Jake Newberry comes on with 2 outs and nobody on in the 8th inning.
Give a good shout out to my wife Brenda, my 2 girls, Jordan and Kinley. Hey, go Royals.
And here's Shane's wife, Brenda. We understand their anniversary is in 3 days. And they're here tonight from Boonville.
Great. Look at their beautiful smiles. Thanks for coming. Way to go.
Nothing like having to hold a smile for 30 seconds
That's
and
right.
just keep waving and waiting for the red light to come off the camera.
That's fantastic.
But they handled it great.
They were awesome. Newberry's had a nice little start to his young career. How about that? Doing a pretty good job throwing strikes. Getting after him. Got a nice slider there. You saw it. Fastball, changeup. That's the whole key, really, attacking and throwing strikes when you're coming out of that pin, especially when you're a youngster making your first appearances in your career at the big leagues.
One ball, 2 strikes on Abreu. He is 0 for 3 tonight. He was 3 for 4 last night, but all singles, no RBIs. He has 22 home runs and 78 driven in. He's going to have a tough time this year extending a very impressive beginning to his career. We brought this up before, but there are only 3 players in the history of this game, 3, who have begun their career with 4 straight 25 home run, 100 RBI seasons. Jose Abreu, Joe DiMaggio, and Albert Pujols. And Abreu, who's been out with an injury, needs 3 home runs and 22 RBIs to extend that. Newberry blows him away with a fastball, and Hill and Newberry combined for a 1-2-3 top of the 8th.
And I'm Sergeant Jacob Perry.
Just wanted to say we love our family members and a great big shout out to our friends at home.
Go Royals!
Go Royals! Woo!
Yeah!
Thank you, Shelley and Jacob. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and description to this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler, along with Jeff Montgomery and Erica Weston. Director Steve Kurtenbach, producer Kevin Cedergren, associate producers Al Broughton, Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman, and Casey Carter, as well as Joel, who was joined us several times tonight.
Yeah, great job.
Middle East.
Yeah, fantastic way to work. They got here early, had a hard, long day, and it was worth it. Man, what an entertainment night it's been.
Good swing by Dozier. 1 ball, 1 strike against Rob Scahill.
Scahill, he's got a mid-90s fastball with some good sink to it. Slider curve change. 4-pitch mix. New call-up, 6'2", 220. Although he's 31, got some experience.
Daniel Palka makes a play in right field. Also want to say thank you to Fox Sports Midwest executive producer Larry Mago, who's over there with the group.
Larry got to go.
Larry's there.
Fantastic.
Brad Shelton, our engineer, helping ensure that all the logistics are such. I mean, the technology's been great. I mean, you would think they were in Raytown with the quality of the picture we've had tonight.
That's right.
Dina Blevins and Ben Aiken with the Royals are also with the group.
Ah, it's outstanding. And you know, what made my night was Major Travis Neely's family up here. His wife Ashley and his twin daughters Addison and Kinsley. It sat on our laps up here. Way to go, Major Neely. You're blessed to have those ladies in your life. They're waiting for you to get home.
I've noticed you have a thing for babies, and I'm guessing you and Jennifer need some grandchildren here pretty soon.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, they just melt me. It's so great to see them. Oh, get to hold them.
O'Hearn is out. We also want to thank everyone tweeting in tonight at FS Kansas City and hashtag Armed Forces Night. We appreciate your thoughts, and I'm sure everyone over at Camp Buring would say the same. Watching from San Diego via Fox Sports Go, Mizzou CPA.
Okay.
If you need your taxes done, Hud.
I do.
And if you're hungry, Barbecue Phil could probably help you out.
Oh man, always use some of that.
On Bonifacio.
You know, they shot their cannon off today, the 35th Cab from Sedalia, the National Guard. They had their big cannon up there near the Price Chopper patio, and about 6:30, maybe it's a little bit before that, they shot it off, and the White Sox were out there taking BP, and Jose Abreu, he jumped 10 feet in the air. I mean, I'd never seen him move like that because it was loud. They shot the cannon off twice.
And that's not just any cannon, which we'll share in the next half inning, is Rob Scahill. Here's how the Royals reacted to the cannon. Watch your lips.
Support Battalion in Springfield, Missouri. Workhorse, go Royals!
Paul and Leaf, thank you. It's been a great night. Look at that room, still packed.
Love it. Way to go. But great support tonight, folks. Thank you. From Buring. Camp Buring.
Nice, Hud.
Yeah. All right, there you go. That's it. They all perked up. You see that? And that's a long ways away they are. Across the world.
Jake Newberry is going to try to be the last pitcher on the mound again tonight for the Royals, although Brian Flynn is warming up behind him, so Ned Yost might get him in for a batter or two. But Newberry came in and he just reached back and threw a fastball right by Jose Abreu to strike him out to end the top of the 8th inning. Avisail Garcia has driven in the only run for the White Sox. They had a 1-0 lead after the top of the 3rd inning, but they have not scored since, and the Royals have scored 6. And now Herrera is back in right field, and he's got it. We were talking about that cannon out in right field, and that same cannon was used by Battery B of the Missouri National Guard, and eventual President Harry Truman was part of the Light Artillery Battery B 1st Brigade. So that goes all the way, that cannon goes all the way back to President Truman.
Awesome.
Before he was President Truman. changes like this late, but with his starters pitching so deep into games, he has to create situations for some guys to get some work in. And Brian Flynn comes in for the Royals. Ryan Cordell pinch hits for the White Sox, and he takes strike one.
Yeah, and you know what? That's how a manager will score points with his players. Take care of them. You're thinking about them. Getting some innings is very important for the bullpen, especially with all of them. You know, when all the September call-ups and everybody here, it's not easy. They all want to pitch. They all want to perform.
This is Ryan Cordell out of Liberty University in Virginia. And there goes Ryan Cordell from Liberty University in Virginia on 3 pitches. Well, it's been a lot of fun tonight, and thank you to everyone who made name from Fox Sports Midwest, Fox Sports Kansas City. Thank you to the Royals. Thank you to the 35th Cab at Camp Buring, where it is coming up on 7 a.m. And they've been watching the game all night. Their friends and family are here, numbering close to 500, getting a chance to watch the game together. There they are. And thank you to everyone who made name from Fox Sports Midwest, Fox Sports Kansas City. Thank you to the Royals. This is their 3rd deployment to the Middle East in support of Operation Spartan Shield and Inherent Freedom. And thank you to the USO. And their motto is, the USO strengthens America's military service members by keeping them connected to family, home, and country. And we certainly felt connected to them tonight. And they're a long, long way away from home.
Oh, man, without a doubt. So proud of the families that are here, that are taking care of the business, so the soldiers can do their thing.
That was Ryan Lamar with a base hit to center field. He's on with 2 outs. There has been a lot of controversy in professional sports regarding the national anthem the past few years, and no matter where you stand on that issue, literally and figuratively, it's reminded all of us what the anthem means, and it means different things to different people. But I think one thing that has come out of that controversy is that whether people are standing or sitting or kneeling or whatever, that the anthem still honors the men and women who are serving our country at home and abroad. That seems to be agreed upon by everybody.
That's right. And those who lost their lives.
Two and two on Wellington Castillo.
Can win him another home series. Be 4 of the last 6 series at home if we win tonight. Get that last out here.
Castillo takes a walk with 2 down, so 2 on 2 out. And now Flynn will pitch to Tim Anderson. Anderson is 0 for 3 tonight with a couple of strikeouts and 0 for 7 in the series. The White Sox have already won the season series, and they won the first 5 from the Royals this year. Anderson lines it to right field. One hop to Herrera. Here's Lamar to the plate, and Valoria tried to deke Lamar by standing there and acting as though no throw was coming, and the Royals didn't get the out, but Lamar didn't slide, so he did deke him, at least to that degree. Look at how close this was.
Yeah, you know, Lamar, he did the right thing. He just kept hustling all the way through. Didn't have anybody from the on-deck circle to help him, whether to stay stand up or slide. And if he would have coasted through, they would have got him. Would have been an embarrassing moment.
And now all of a sudden, Ned Yost is not creating an opportunity here. This becomes a save situation with the tying run on deck. So Flynn came on. He struck out Ryan Cordell, but Lamar singled, Castillo walked, and now Anderson drives in a run. And Peralta had just started warming up, and Ned, with no umpires paying any attention to him at all, makes the pitching change. I think he was waiting for somebody to come to the mound and tell him to break it up, but all the umpires are just kind of standing around chatting. So Ned makes the change on his own. That is by design, and you see the American flag on military uniforms, and the flag is pointed in the direction it would be if somebody was moving forward.
Okay.
Willie Peralta needs to get 1 out for his 10th save. He inherits runners at first and second with 2 down, and will pitch to Adam Engel.
Fastball, slider, change. Mid-90s velocity-wise. Rondon's a pitcher. Run at second.
Ball 1 to Engel. Engel is 0 for 3 with 2 ground outs and a strikeout. All this started with 2 outs and nobody on. The White Sox led 1-0 after getting a run in the top of the 3rd and had not scored until 1 here in the 9th, and now it's 3 balls and no strikes and 1 pitch away from bringing up Yoan Moncada, representing the tying run. Thank you very much. 3-1.
It's been a strike all night. Dawson's been calling him on the borderline.
Bases loaded, 2 down. That's the 2nd walk of the inning. First from Peralta. So Rondon is at 3rd, Anderson is at 2nd, Engels at 1st. And now a guy who has had a down year, but he also has some power. Yoan Moncada has 17 home runs this year. 15 have been from this side of the plate. Down and in, ball 1.
Peralta's a veteran. He's pretty much telling Valoria what he wants to throw. If you're going to be a closer, most closers are 90% fastballs. They're coming right at you. You usually have that kind of stuff. There are a few closers that don't have that type of velocity, but not very many. And we see a Peralta with a lot of breaking balls early in counts, and he falls behind. Then he has to come in there, and that hitter knows he's coming in with a fastball.
And there it is at 95. Moncada pulled off of it. These two have matched once before tonight, and Peralta struck out Moncada.
Yeah, keeping that heater on the outer half of the plate. That's the pitch to make.
Upstairs. Two and two. Pitching him away looks like a good idea because he looks like a young player right now, caught up in the moment and is trying to yank one and pull it to right field for a home run, and he has come off 2 fastballs away from him.
Right, and so you don't speed his bat up by a changeup or an off-speed pitch here. Stay away from him. I agree.
That was a breaking ball right down the middle of the plate.
And he had a great rip on it.
Peralta is bound and determined to throw his breaking ball, which has not been a good pitch for him this inning. The only swings and misses or swings and fouls he has gotten is from his fastball. And now he's worked himself into a 3-2 count with Yolmer Sanchez on deck. And now the runners will be going. And Moncada takes ball 4. And now the tying run is on. And why Peralta doesn't want to throw his fastball, I don't understand.
He's calling Valoria out there. You know, just the body language is not good. He's got to clean that up. He's a veteran pitcher. Now Cal's got to come out. You know, he's taking way too much time in between pitches and thinking too much.
So Peralta's come on and he has walked 2.
Definitely, outings like this do not endear yourself for a future job. Here, anyway.
Last night, Peralta pitched the 9th inning. And he gave up a single to Abreu, which was not hard hit, and it was his changeup. Remember, that was the pitch last night. He struck out Palka and Delmonico with his changeup. Tonight he wants to throw his slider. Now Sanchez, he has 7 home runs. He is 1 for 4 tonight with a run scored. .94 is up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Newberry started the inning. He got Garcia to fly out to right. Then Flynn came on and struck out Cordell on 3 pitches. So there were 2 outs and nobody on, and now the last 5 have reached. And the White Sox have 2 runs in the inning with the tying run at first base and 2 outs. And Sanchez lifts it out to shallow left, and Mondesi makes the play to end the game. Cover your ears. So things got a little interesting in the top of the 9th inning, but the Royals win the game. They win the series, and that's worth 2 cannon shots.
That's right.
3. Proving once again you can't beat cannon shots at the old ballpark.
Never. And you can't beat manager's smile after a W and a series win.
And the Royals have won 7 straight at home for the first time in 2 years. They have won 10 of their last 11 at home, and as Hud pointed out, they have won 4 of their last 6 series and have a chance to go for the sweep tomorrow with Eric Skoglund against Carlos Rodon. Let's go down to the field, and here's Erica.
Thanks, guys. First, I'm going to start this off by saying heads up, Salvador Perez, I have my eyes on you. But Whit, you guys have won 7 straight games here at Kauffman Stadium. You take 2 of 3 so far from the Chicago White Sox. What is working for this ball club right now?
We're playing well. We got some good momentum. You know, guys are putting stuff together, and we're pitching well. We're hitting well. We're playing good defense, and I'm sorry.
Hey, at least you apologize. That's all right. Wait, you pick up 2 base hits for you tonight. You also collect stolen bases number 32 and 33 on this season. That gives you back-to-back seasons with 30-plus stolen bags, putting you 1 of 9 Royals to accomplish that feat. Just your thought about joining some pretty elite company.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to know, and you know, I just go out there and Mitch does a great job preparing before the game. We talk about certain keys and trying to steal bases. And I want to take a minute to give a shout out to Camp Beering. I know you guys are watching. We appreciate your support. We appreciate all that you do. We're proud to be Americans because of you guys, and this win was for you guys.
We appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right, Ryan, back to you.
All right, thank you, Erica. That was nice of Whit to say. And it's been a lot of fun for many regions. And at 7:15 in the morning, HUD, they're celebrating a Royals victory.
Oh, great for them to be.